He tells jokes a lot, or he's goofy? How would you describe his sense of humor?
Just like that, goofy.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Guys love him, huh?
Most definitely.
How would you describe Mike McDaniel's drip?
He be having a drip on. He always got, some new kicks on or something. He gonna let you know that, they new, and, he gonna make sure that you see it.
Welcome to the Schultz Report presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. I'm your host, NFL Insider Jordan Schultz, and we have a jam-packed show for you today. First, I'll be talking about the huge impact that Week 14 will have on the future on a handful of clubs. Next, Keyshawn Johnson will be connecting with us to talk NFL playoffs and college football playoffs, Notre Dame. And we have a massive double feature on tap with two of the league's best running backs joining the show. Bears DeAndre Swift and the Fins Devon Achane. This is a good one. Lock in and let's go. Hey all, through my partnership with Fanatics Sportsbook, you've heard me talk about FanCash. FanCash is the ultimate sports currency, from bets to tickets to memorabilia and one-of-a-kind experiences. FanCash unlocks the world of Fanatics. And now every week, I'm working with my partners at Fanatics Sportsbook to give you $50 in FanCash to 4 lucky followers. Look out for the post on my ex at Schultz_report Saturday or Sunday morning for your chance to win FanCash to use on jerseys, bonus bets, and more. Fanatics Sportsbook, winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, 800-327-5050. New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY. And Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. First up, the Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders, in the curious case of head coach Kevin Stefanski. So here's my take on the Browns after surveying the league, talking to quite a few folks about what's going to happen or what's likely to happen. Let me start with Shedeur Sanders. So he just comes off his best performance by far as a pro in his third start. It was a loss, but forget that. He goes for 364 yards passing, 4 total touchdowns, just 1 pick. Passer rating was almost 100. He was brilliant. And if that's the type of Shedeur Sanders you believe you can build off, then there is a serious conversation that needs to be had about whether or not he could be QB1. The other part of it is he's had such a small sample size. If you're the Browns, how much are you going to put into this final month or so of the season when it comes to determining Shedeur Sanders' future as a potential quarterback of the future? And if it's not Sanders, consider the fact that Cleveland has not one but 2 first-round picks to potentially invest in a quarterback. The question is, who's going to be the head coach? Because right now, Stefanski, although he is safe, right now is the key. Because he could have one of the hottest seats in the NFL. And the problem for Cleveland is that Kevin Stefanski is a 2-time coach of the year. And despite the struggles this team has had offensively and with turnovers and with penalties, if you fire Stefanski, you know definitively that he goes to the top of the list, or certainly near the top of the list, when it comes to determining future head coaches in this upcoming cycle. You also don't have the strongest upcoming cycle with potential head coaches. Stefanski is not going to have a hard time getting a new job. So you have a lot to factor in if you're Cleveland when it comes to Shedeur and Stefanski. Can they work together? Can they coexist? And really, is Stefanski going to be there long term? It wasn't so long ago that we were talking on the show about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running the table. Baker Mayfield playing like an MVP, and friend of the show, Emeka Egbuka, winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Flash forward to today, and the Bucs have now lost 5 of 7, including a really tough loss in Week 14 to the 2-10 New Orleans Saints. The question for me really isn't offensively. It goes to the defense, which then goes to head coach Todd Bowles, who is really, in essence, running this defense day to day. When I think about the Bucs and whether or not they can become a playoff team, I have a lot of confidence in the offense. We talked last week about Baker and Josh Grizzard, having Bucky Irving back, having Chris Godwin back, potentially Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan. It really goes back to Bowles. And when I think about head coaches that are in real trouble, especially if they struggled this last month, it's Todd Bowles. In other words, if the Bucs don't make the playoffs or flame out really early in the playoffs, considering the talent on this roster and the quality of this offense, I would say Todd Bowles is on the very, very hottest of seats. Unlike Stefanski in Cleveland, who I think would be certainly entertained for another head coaching job, I probably wouldn't say the same about Bowles. I think he would have very easy time getting a defensive coordinator job. But when it comes to a head coach, I don't see it. And that takes us to the New Orleans Saints, who at only 3-10 on the year actually have key wins against potential playoff teams in both Carolina and Tampa. And it's these types of wins and rookie quarterback Tyler Shough's recent play that really signals some hope in New Orleans. Now, I've been bearish in terms of the way they have pushed contracts down the line, but when it comes to Tyler Shough, I think they have a legitimate starting quarterback. And the reason I say that is when he was coming out of the draft, there were several league executives who told me flat out that he had a legit NFL arm, that he was underrated athletically, and that despite the age, they felt like there was still a lot of upside there because he had endured some injuries and was probably being overlooked as a result. He ends up going in the second round, but he has played more like a veteran than a rookie, especially the last month. I thought the Tampa game, where he extended a ton of plays, had 2 rushing touchdowns, and really made several massive third down decision and throws. I thought that game was the epitome of what you're looking for when you're determining whether or not you have a franchise quarterback, especially a rookie who has such a small sample size. And by the way, it's not like he's been playing since the start of the season, and it's not like they have a ton of talent around him. They also traded one of their best options, their fastest player, Rashid Shaheed, to Seattle at the deadline. So to me, and I believe the organization feels this way as well, Tyler Shough is the quarterback of the future in New Orleans, which gives you a whole lot of hope when you're entering the draft. Now we don't need a quarterback. Now we need to surround our quarterback with playmakers and a fortress offensive line. And I think the unsung hero here really is the head coach and, by all intents and purposes, the quarterback guru, Kellen Moore. You think about what he did for Jalen Hurts in the Philadelphia Eagles, his background in Dallas, obviously, with Dak Prescott. Kellen Moore, in his first year as a head coach, has done wonders for Tyler Shough. And I think that relationship, they grow together, and the upside to me is very high as a result. The 4 biggest commodities in the NFL are head coach, quarterback, left tackle, and premier pass rusher. If you're the Saints, I think you have the coach, you have the quarterback, you have the left tackle in Calvin Banks Jr., the rookie out of Texas, who's been excellent. Now you need a younger defense. Go out and get a pass rusher or 2 in a pass rusher flush draft. And suddenly, in the NFC South, I think the Saints have some runway. And lastly, fresh off a statement win against the Eagles on Monday Night Football, let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers defense. Yes, their defense. We all know about Justin Herbert and the juggernaut that this offense can be. And obviously having Omarion Hampton back is a big jolt to the Bolts. But to me, the defense is the heartbeat of this team. You talk about what they've been able to do. 4th in yards allowed, top 10 in points and turnovers. But go to the Eagles game, and that's the type of statement defensive performance, 3 interceptions on Jalen Hurts, that gets you, in my mind, to a playoff berth and beyond. If you're the Chargers in year 2 of Jim Harbaugh, it's not just about making the playoffs, it's what's our path toward winning a Super Bowl. And I'm not quite sure they're there yet, although I think they could be. I think the injuries specifically to the offensive line with Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, that's catastrophic. What they've been able to do to overcome it, especially defensively, to give the offense that consistent assurance that, hey, we don't need to go put up 30 every week. 20, 25 could do it. That is huge psychologically. So big ups to Jesse Minter, who Jim Harbaugh brought with him from Michigan. He's one of the best young coordinators in football, the DC. He will be on the short list of head coaches at or near the top, and he belongs there. Big ups to him and his defense for having a monster season. Let's bring on to the show our resident expert in all things football, from Pop Warner to the pros, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. Key, I'll start right off with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
That was a bad loss against the Chargers. Not that it was a bad team, but the way they lost, obviously 3 interceptions from the quarterback to close out the game. Here's the first question. What is the issue you're seeing, or the issues?
There's a lot of issues, right? Starting at the quarterback position. But you got to realize the protection isn't quite there at times with him. They're not running the ball as well as they did, a year ago or a year before that. They're different they're a different animal offensively than they've been in the past. Nobody's afraid of them anymore. Hell, they're not even getting the tush push at a high clip as they were before. I think they're in the 60 percentile now opposed to where they were before. So when you start to look at it, a lot of it falls on, as much as I am a Jalen Hurts fan, like I'm the biggest Jalen Hurts fan out there. I'm going to defend him till the cows come home. But at the end of the day, your quarterback can't play like that, man. He just can't. I'm just telling you, Jordan. He cannot play that way. Okay? He looks like a shell of himself. Okay? I mean, like, think about some of those balls. Yeah, AJ Brown across the middle was high, it's catchable. No question about it. It's a catchable ball. Anybody that knows that you have to put the ball in the middle of the field over the linebacker's head, manipulate the football. The receiver probably should have caught it, although it probably could have been brought down slightly, but that's not, that ill-advised throw at the end of the game. I don't even know what the fuck that was. I really don't. That to me, that made me mad, and I'm not even on the field. I have no idea what Jalen was doing in overtime right there. I don't even think he knew what he was doing. So when you start to look at certain things, the interception to the defensive lineman drop it, how you never see that? I have no idea. Where's the film study? I have no idea. Because that, I can almost guarantee you, without looking at every single snap that the Chargers defensively run, I can guarantee you that particular zone, blitz zone, whatever it was that time, has come up in the film study multiple times. That's not the first time that mentors run that in the last 4 to 5 games. I can promise you that. So when you see it, it's just alarming and shocking, Jordan, because on film study and scouting, down in distance, where you're at on the field, tendencies, okay, this is what's getting ready to happen here. This is what they do 80% of the time in this area of the field on this down and distance. This is what they do 60% of the time. So you should know all of those things at the quarterback position, but Jalen Hurts looked confused out there last night.
Okay, having said all that, is it fixable? Or are you feeling like, you know what? This season is really headed toward the dumps.
I think it's fixable, but they're gonna probably get the wrong draw in the playoffs. I still think they win the division, right?
Yes.
But I think they get the wrong draw because they got Washington twice. So basically, the next 4 games they should be 3-1.
That would put
The
them at
worst they
11
should
and
be.
5.
Yeah, they'll win the division, but they could get the wrong draw. And what I mean by the wrong draw, maybe there's a Ram 49er Seahawks come into that town, right? One of those type of teams that you draw from. Maybe there's a Green Bay. You just may get the wrong draw and be a one and done, but it's fixable. The 2 times that they've gone to the Super Bowl, both coordinators from the outside, right? Meaning like you keep
They didn't promote within.
you keep promoting within, and every time you promote within, it's a disaster. The Super Bowl you won, you got that guy from the outside in Kellen Moore. But now you all of a sudden go back into the inside because the guy's been in the league for 16 years and it's his opportunity and chance now. Well, yeah, that's true. But they're not egging everybody houses in Philadelphia. They're egging his house, the coordinator. And so they've got to look at that come the offseason and make some serious decisions on what they need to do in terms of an established offensive coordinator.
I'll give you a coordinator or former OC that has, in my opinion, put himself firmly in the coach of the year conversation. He's now the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Liam Coen. Do you agree, Key, that he belongs in that conversation?
Being in the conversation is one thing, winning it is another, right? Did he change the way that they look a year ago? Yeah. Yeah. He changed the way that they
Drastically
looked a year
changed.
ago.
They're
He
a
changed them.
legit playoff team.
But 2 years ago, they were a playoff team,
All right.
right? When they beat the Chargers, when the Chargers had a 21-0 lead. That was
That was
that
3 years ago. That was 3 years ago.
Same, but it was the same quarterback. So when I look at that, I go, he could be in that conversation. But for me, You got to look at Dave Canales down in Carolina, what he's been able to do. Carolina, you got to look at Ben Johnson at 9-4 in Chicago, what he's been able to do. Chicago was a bad.
I think Mike McDonald in Seattle should be in that conversation.
Mike McDonald in Seattle, Sean McVay with the Rams. Obviously, for me, if I'm betting and I am voting, there's two guys in my eyes that are probably leaders for me. Vrabel in New England is sitting at 11-2.
10 straight.
Buffalo had 10 straight. Buffalo had a stranglehold on the division for the last umpteen years. The Denver Broncos, Kansas City's had a stranglehold on the division and the number one seed in the AFC for quite some time. Those are the two coaches, and I know Sean made the playoffs in a backdoor situation a year ago, but this team is different. They're sitting at 11-2. They're right there with New England. Those two would be at the top of the leaderboard for me. And then I would throw Ben Johnson in there, and then Canales from Carolina in there. And I understand Jacksonville is doing some good stuff, but not yet. I don't believe in the Jags like that.
The Jaguars have been among the league's laughing stock for a long time. Travis Etienne, who is kind of quietly had a terrific season, the running back. He said no one respects the Jags. I'm not asking you if that's true. I'm asking if that can be a motivator. If this bulletin board stuff, does that actually happen in locker rooms? Do guys talk about this and say, let's use it as fuel?
It's not an everyday conversation, right? It may be a conversation as you're walking out the tunnel. You're like, yeah, let's use it. Yeah, let's show them, but it ain't like walking around a locker room. You're sitting in a locker room for 2 hours, and all of a sudden you're talking about,
What
somebody
some Jordan Schultz
disrespected the
dum-dum
team.
said. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody pays attention to that. Not in the locker room, right? But coming out on the field, when you're out there, you might be talking to your teammates, say, yeah, let's basically show them that we're a real team. Now, look, if Indianapolis didn't fall apart, I don't know that the Jaguars would be in the situation that they're in. Houston's gotten better.
Houston's red hot.
Indianapolis, obviously, they're working out Phillip Rivers or whatever the case is, so we know that the season's pretty much over for them.
44, hasn't played in 5 years.
Yeah, I'm good on that one. You mean to tell me I can't find somebody on the streets? I can't get another guy on the streets from a year ago? I guarantee you, I could look at the wire
and find
or wherever
better.
Cuts are, Jordan can find somebody. You damn right I can find somebody.
Todd Marinovich.
Oh, God. You trying to tell me in the last 4 years, there's not a better quarterback that's available to you than Phillip Rivers?
That's currently at home on the couch.
The streets. You're going to tell me that? I'm trying to
think.
I've been watching football my whole entire damn life.
Okay, fine. Everyone's been watching football their whole life.
You're not getting ready to be a smart white dude.
You're not alone here.
You're not. No,
everyone's watching football their whole life.
Dude. No, that's not true. There's a difference.
Oh, there's a difference.
There's a difference.
Right.
The difference is I played the game.
I totally agree. And that is an argument. Hold on.
I know what the hell I'm looking at.
I agree. That's an argument that has been it's been forever, since the age of time. The guy who played versus the guy who didn't play. Do they see the game differently?
No, but that's okay. But
it's a definitive yes.
Howie Roseman didn't play, and he's a hell of a general manager. That's not my point. My point is, I've been watching this shit for a long time, man. I know what I see. And Phillip Rivers ain't it. Like, stop wishing and hoping. You can take, I'm telling you, without the list in front of me, I can find on the streets, at home, in a country town somewhere, a better quarterback than Phillip Rivers for the Indianapolis Colts. I promise you. Now, you can tell me, well, he knows the system. He was there.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
All that's cool. Yeah. All that's cool. All that's fine. He ain't getting out of the way of nobody. Nobody. Think about it, Jordan. He's not getting out of. That's like, okay. You think I know the Denver Broncos system?
Because of Sean, I would imagine you would pick it up quick.
Yeah, 100%. You think I can go out there and do anything right now?
No, but that's
Anything.
different because you haven't. What year did you retire?
Different.
What year did you
It's
retire?
not. It doesn't
What
matter.
year? You've been out of the league for 12 years, 13 years, 15 years?
He's been out of the league for 5 years.
5 is different than what year did Key retire? 08?
Oh no, I've been out of the league damn near 20 years.
20. Okay, that's a big difference, dude. That's a big difference.
I can still. You don't think I can still get open?
I think you could run 3 routes and pop your Achilles. I think you run 3 routes and you're dead.
I think I can.
You would get open 3 times. And then you're going like this to the staff.
Exactly. And that's my point. My point is, no matter how long you've been out, you're not ready. The times have changed in 5 years. There's so much different exotic blitzes and movements, and it's so different
that's fair.
than 5 years ago.
That's fair.
In a pandemic year in 2020. Stop it, Jordan.
Okay.
Again, you ain't going to be smarter than me. So
Correct.
don't try it, Mr. Guy. Don't do it.
I'm going to start going through names of recently retired quarterbacks that
Okay,
are
let's go.
currently on
Let's
the
play
street.
this game.
And you tell me
Let's play this game.
if they're better options than Phillip Rivers for the Colts. Okay. Alex Smith.
Better option.
RG3.
Probably a better option.
Wow, okay. Josh McCown, the coach.
Same thing.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Probably a better option for me than Phillip Rivers.
Wow. Cam Newton. He was pretty bad at the end there.
Probably, but it was that was all weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I would. Does he fit what we want to do?
Right. No,
He probably is a better option than Phillip Rivers.
So we just named.
I don't know what type of shape Cam is in, but I would take Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm assuming. Let's assume they're all in enough football shape to get it done for 4 games. I'm taking them dudes. I'm taking 2 of them dudes over him. I'm taking Cam Newton. I'm taking Ryan Fitzpatrick over Phillip Rivers. I can't do it.
What about Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan was already in Indy though.
Right.
He was already there.
So was Rivers.
They saw that. Yeah, but they saw
okay.
that. He didn't have success. Rivers had fake success in 2020 during a pandemic. So, y'all think y'all smarter than everybody. Y'all don't factor that into the equation.
Somebody mentioned this on X. I can't remember. I apologize. But one of his kids is older than Riley Leonard.
That may be true. He's got a bunch of kids. So
regardless, you think that's about as bad an option as it would get. And
look, it's an option. I don't know that I would do it.
Okay.
What am I trying to salvage here? What am I trying to do?
They might as well try to make the playoffs, in my opinion.
Okay, then what? Go on the road and lose? Come on, stop.
Let's move on. 2 more. JSN is on the doorstep of potential history. He still needs to average well over 100 yards a game to break Megatron's record of, I think it was 1963, 1,963 yards. The question isn't can he, it's should he, if they're in the position, let's say two games left, and he needs 240 yards, should he and the Seahawks go for it or rest for the playoffs?
It all depends on how close he is.
Let's say he's within striking distance where it's 240, 250 yards in 2 games.
I probably would play the game and then see where we're at for the last game. I faced this similar situation on the reception side when I played in Tampa Bay. I had a chance to break at the time. I think it was I felt like it was like 120 catches or something like that. It was like Jerry Rice's record of all time.
Wow, that's a big deal.
But I was within striking distance of it. And we had 2 games left. And everybody thought that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would push to get me the record. But Coach Dungy came to me and he asked me if I wanted to chase the record or did I want to rest because we were going to see Philadelphia in the playoffs and we would see Philadelphia at the end of the year. Anyway, we'll see them twice. So I could be the guy that many people like you would say I was, which was selfish, to play to try to get the record, or should I rest my body for the playoffs? And so I decided, you know what, Coach Dungy, let's just rest me up. I'm good. I don't care. I don't,
So
So
two
I
games. There were
lost two.
two games.
Yeah, it was 2 games left. And I had a chance to, it was my Iron Man streak that was alive and kicking like all the way through. And it was chasing the Jerry Rice record. But I was like, you know what, man, I don't feel like let's just pack up and get ready for the playoffs. So it just all depends on where you at and what's important to you. The Philadelphia Eagles didn't get after the record, and they went ahead and won the Super Bowl with Saquon Barkley, if you remember, Jordan. They didn't go after the rushing record.
And looking back, 20 years later, was that the right move? Do you wish you would have had that record?
No, it's totally the right move. It was the right move, because you damned if you do, damned if you don't from a PR standpoint. And okay, so you get the record and it stands for 2 years because then Marvin Harrison breaks it. And then my nephew breaks Marvin Harrison's record several years later. So it was the right move for sure.
Last question is college football. We've already talked about Lane Kiffin. This is about Notre Dame. Now, they don't get in the playoff, which, whatever. I'm not here to argue whether or not they belonged. My question about Notre Dame.
That's why you brought it up.
Yeah, my question about Notre Dame is, what did you make of them declining the bowl invite?
I'm okay. Teams decline bowl invites all the time.
Okay, so no issue.
But
okay,
no, that's not what I said. I said teams decline bowl invites all the time, Jordan. Okay? The problem with it is Notre Dame did it immediately after they were not selected in the college football playoff. They immediately said, we're not going to a bowl game. That, to me, is bullshit, period. That's like, take my ball and go home, little whining ass, you-know-whats. I mean, that's like, come on, man. You don't do that. If you told me that half your seniors were getting ready for the NFL Combine, half your team was in the portal, half your coaching staff was leaving, then I would be like, okay, I understand. But you don't want to play in a bowl? What bowl? You don't even know what bowl it is.
Well, it would have been
But
one of the New Year's Six type of deals. So it would have been a big game.
You got a big game, a big bowl, nice money, the whole deal.
Right.
But you're going to take your ball and you go home. That's why Notre Dame will never win a national championship in our lifetime again. This is exactly why. They got the one from Lou Holtz and that's it. They're done. They won't win one for a while because they're spoiled little brats. Oh, we're got our own TV on NBC. We're not in a conference. We're like in a fake conference, but not really in a conference. Like, come on, stop. And this is not USC. Notre Dame.
That was my question. Is this a USC deal?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with that. It's ridiculous that you feel the need to not go to a bowl game because you wasn't selected in the college football playoff. So if you don't, so every year that you're not in the college football playoff, you're not going to a bowl game. Is that what you're telling me? Because if that's what you're telling me, then you probably should quit playing football.
Key, here's my question of the day. I told you before we started taping, I get more people talking to me about the questions with Keyshawn that have nothing to do with football, because I think people really think you're funny. They didn't know how funny you were. And also, these are not scripted. I'm not telling you this beforehand. If you had...
So now I'm a joke. Got it.
No.
I'm a clown to you.
This is the best one. You have, and I stole this from the Bill Simmons podcast because I thought this was a great idea. You need to make a 20-yard throw. You're the quarterback. Yeah. And you have one person to catch the ball. If he catches it, you get $10 million. If he drops it, you're dead. Who is the person you trust the most to come up with the catch?
Keyshawn.
No. You're the quarterback. You can't.
I'm gonna throw to myself.
You really are fucking sick.
I can't do that.
You are.
I can't trust myself.
Sick puppy.
I can't trust
but
myself.
That kind of defeats the purpose of the question. I don't think even prime Keyshawn could make that catch. Maybe if you threw it really high.
Yeah, 20 yards, I wouldn't be able to get there.
Who do you trust? I mean,
Oh, Michael Irvin, Jerry Rice.
Okay, there you go. That's a good one.
Obviously, I'll take myself. That's easy.
You know who I'm taking?
Um,
I'm taking you.
I'm taking Julian Edelman. I'm
Okay,
going
you don't
to.
need to go through, 27 receivers that you would take. It really is just a one deal shot. It's a one shot
No,
question.
I wanted to make sure I got my guy in there, Jules, man.
I love Jules. That's a great one.
I won't be taking you. That's for damn sure.
I think good stuff today. Lots of fun. And I want to thank you as always for coming on and for being our receiver, our WR1.
Yeah, for sure.
Really excited to welcome in Chicago Bears running back DeAndre Swift, having a hell of a season. D Swift, really appreciate you taking the time. I guess I'll start off with this. You were with Ben Johnson in Detroit, obviously as a coordinator, but now in Chicago as a head coach. What have you noticed in terms of his progression as a coach, and obviously as a head coach now, from Detroit, where he's the OC, to now as a head coach?
It's been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal just to see him transform from an OC into leading the whole team, and that's offense, defense, and special teams. Man, it's been amazing to be a part of, to see how his transition has been, to see how he goes about his daily work every single day. I can't explain enough how excited I am to be back with him.
Were you surprised at how well he adapted as a head coach? Because it's a very, very different role.
No, I was not surprised. I've been with him, so I know how he is, and I know that work that he puts in. So I knew when I saw we had him over here, I knew it was going to take a little bit of time for things to get rolling, but I knew we had the right guy in position to do so.
Is he as animated day to day as we see in the post-game locker room videos?
Some days he's like that, some days he's not, depending on the day. But he's a great guy to be around, man. Got a sense of humor about him. When his business is business, though.
Good, better, bad. Good, better, bad. Never let it run. Never let it run. Good gets better. Good gets better. You better get better. You better get better. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bears.
So he's funnier than maybe like the average fan would even realize.
100%.
He tells jokes a lot, or he's goofy? How would you describe his sense of humor?
Just like that, goofy. Yeah.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Guys love him, huh?
Most definitely.
You had a great year in Philly, but to me, this is the best version of DeAndre Swift. So what do you think the reason or reasons are for that?
It's a lot of things that go into it. Preparation, the way I prepare, making sure I'm on my details and things like that. And Ben and EB just doing a hell of a job, but overemphasizing the details and things like that early on in the week, and just working day in and day out. And I can't do nothing without them boys up front, man. I can't explain that enough. Just the job that they do, Coach Dan with them guys in that room. When they clicking, man, they make my job so much easier. And then I go ahead and allow my talents, my God-given ability to show after that. But them, the receivers on the perimeter blocking, don't nothing go without them boys.
What was your mindset going into the Eagles game? 125 yards, obviously being from there, playing there. What was your mindset?
There's another game.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same every week for me. How I prepare, how I approach every single game. Just want to make every opportunity count, and I was able to do that.
The tradition of the running back position at Georgia is really special.
Yeah.
What did you take from your time in Athens that has allowed you to have such a great professional career?
Guys over there, they prepare you. So I feel like I was a pro before a pro as far as routine and things like that, taking care of my body. And I had some guys in front of me kind of showed me the ropes and how that was supposed to look. And Nick Chubb and Sony Michelle, I always called them my big brothers. As a freshman over there, was able to find a nice role to be able to help the team out. But just seeing how them guys went about their business, I knew they was going into the next level the year after. So just sitting back and watching. And then Kirby and the staff did a hell of a job of just making sure we was ready once we did leave school.
What's the difference or similarities between Dogs fans and Bears fans?
I feel like it's nothing like college ball.
Yeah.
But I will,
especially between the hedges.
Yeah, it's different up there, man. The Athens, it's different. College town for sure. But I would just say the passion over here in Chicago is crazy. It's crazy. Got great fans, and they travel well, away games. It's amazing a city to be a part of, and a great organization to play for.
What's been the biggest growth lesson you've seen from Caleb year 1 to year 2?
It's night and day, but I feel like his maturity, he's stepped into a bigger leadership role and is commanding every excellence from everybody.
Yeah.
And I noticed he's never satisfied with anything. Each week his approach to the game, and that trickled down from Ben. How he approached his work, his process. I'm not in the meetings with him, but I can tell that he's doing a lot of extra things to make sure he's ready.
The Caleb Williams in the huddle, how would you describe that version?
Amazing. I guess he's commanding the huddle, but I would feel like you talk about how his look is when he's pronouncing the plays and things like that. And that takes time with new offense, new coaches, and things like that. Each week he's continued to grow, continue to get better, and he's allowing us to play at a high level.
What's one thing about him that maybe even Bears fans would be surprised to learn?
He goofy too. Yeah,
he is?
Yeah, he goofy too. Yeah.
How would you describe his goofiness?
Real loud in the mornings when he come into the training room. He'll say jokes, but some of them aren't always funny, but he always thinks they're funny.
Right.
Yeah, that type of guy, man. But he's a good guy to be around, great guy to be around.
What's one thing about DeAndre Swift that maybe Bears fans would be surprised to learn?
I'm goofy too.
You are?
Yeah, I got a little sense of humor to myself.
Would you describe yourself as like a comedian or a joke teller?
I wouldn't say that. I just feel like you got to be around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to make people laugh.
How would you describe DeAndre Swift's drip?
Amazing.
Number one on the team?
If you're asking me, yeah, for sure.
How about Ben's?
Oh no, I don't see what he wears to the game.
You don't, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And every time I see him every day, he got on Bears stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. I want to say he has a little drip, but I don't know. He got some swag to him though.
When you have a head coach that has a lot of swag, how does that manifest itself from a player's perspective in terms of just his ability to relate to young guys?
It's amazing. He got like open door policy. I always say like you can go ahead and talk to Ben about anything outside of ball. He's real cool and down to earth outside of football. And when he walks around with that swag, as he should. That's the man.
Is that common for you to have conversations about life with the head coach? How does that help you?
It kind of something I resonate with, man. Like when you can go upstairs and talk to a coach. You don't need to be upstairs. You be outside right before practice, and he's just regular talks, regular conversations, man. That go a long way. It shows somebody that cares about the person, because it's a human aspect to this thing too. It's business, but it's a human aspect to it.
It is a business, but you hit on something that I think is super important, DeAndre. NFL fan, we only see you for 3 hours on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. So imagine going to someone's job and seeing them for 3 hours on one day. It's a very small percentage of what's going on.
Yeah.
As much as you love football, you have a lot of other interests. And I'm sure, it's not just about football.
100%. Like you said, you only see a portion of it. The things we do day to day, the hours that we put in, it's time consuming, but we do what we love. So you make the most of it, but you only get to see a little piece of it.
You have well over 4,000 career rushing yards, and you're still very young. When you think back to, or when you think to the legacy way down the line of what you'd want to leave behind as a football player, what would you want people to say about you?
Oh man, somebody that comes into work every single day, with a pro-like mindset, somebody that works hard, a leader. But I feel like you said, I'm just getting started, man. Young, I feel like I'm just getting started with this for real.
Like you're about to really put on something. Like you've had a lot of success, but you're like, wait, rocket ship.
In my mind, that's how I'm approaching it. Yeah, I'm just getting started.
I love that. You've talked a lot about studying different runners and styles. Who are some of the running backs, and what are the types of styles that you like to study and potentially emulate? Early
on, I would say it was more so that looking at other people, like Christian McCaffrey's, it was the Alvin Kamara's, people that kind of do it all, run routes, catch the ball at the backfield, and kind of just used in various amount of ways.
All purpose.
Yeah, 100%, because that's what I see myself as. And now it's just my game. I look at me. I don't really look at anybody else, because it's all about perfecting my game. I'm real critical of myself and how I play, so just trying to find different avenues and different areas to improve on each week, because it's always something to improve on. So I really just watch myself.
Are you a harsh critic of yourself, DeAndre?
100%. I feel like any great one, or that anybody that has aspirations of being great, would tell you that. You got to look inward.
You grew up watching your dad in the gym, and and he looks like he could play in the NFL today. What did you take from him, and how has he helped shape you as a football player and as a young man?
Him and my mom did a great job. They was the first people I was seeing introduce me to hard work, and I was waking up early. My mom making sure everything was good for us to go to school, him going to work, putting in early hours, long nights, and things like that, man. So just seeing them do that day in and day out kind of trickled off into me and all my siblings. And thank them a lot for what they installed in us at a young age.
How many siblings do you have?
I got 3 brothers and 3 sisters.
How has having a big family helped you as a football player in terms of a big family in a locker room?
You have different relationships with everybody.
Right.
So, I mean, in the locker room, in a football team, that's your family. You're with these guys more than your family, to be honest with you.
Right.
So you gotta make that a great work environment. When you come in here and you're with these guys day in and day out, man, and just make it a great environment, make it fun for yourself, and just build great relationships around the building.
Do you feel like the chemistry of the team has changed a lot this season?
I do, and I feel like it continues to grow week in and week out. As we go out there and we put the work in every single day, we go out there on Sundays and we go in a battle with each other. And then you can't help but allow the chemistry to grow. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're a family. We're in there every single day, countless hours, as we were talking about earlier, with the same people and over again. So you kind of build this relationship with these guys every single day, and it continues to grow.
The family element of football, for someone that hasn't played professional sports or hasn't played football, how would you describe that in terms of just how significant that is, given the physicality of the game and having to rely on what is really a brotherhood?
It's exactly that, a brotherhood. All the teams that I've been on that have been successful are the closest teams that I've been a part of. You go a little bit harder for that man next to you, left and to your right, when that relationship is better and you have that chemistry and you have that brotherhood with that person next to you. Because y'all put the work in together. So you put the work in throughout the week and you go out there on Sunday, Monday, whatever the game is. That's the time to have fun and play for one another and have fun together.
What's the best way for that to come together? Because obviously winning helps, but how do you develop that that brotherhood and closeness?
For this team particularly, it started in camp early on. We got to go through those dog days, those hard times together, and we still are. We got to go through adversity together. Got to go through the hard times to be able to get to the good ones.
And is that a byproduct in large part to Coach Johnson?
100%. The culture that he set since he got here, since day one. We work every single day. We come in here. So when you continue to do that day in and day out, man, you build a level of respect for the guys that you're doing it with and doing it for.
Who are your top 5 all-time Georgia Bulldogs?
Got Herschel, Todd Gurley, Nick, Sony. That's 4, right?
It's 4, and yeah.
Yeah, it's tough after that.
The first one that came to mind would be probably AJ Green.
Yeah, I got to put like a receiver, and I can't go all
a receiver.
Yeah. I'm going to say something I seen with my own 2 eyes. I'm going to say George Pickens.
That's a good one because he's obviously exploded this season.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not surprised, but
No.
how talented, how gifted is GP?
Tremendously. Like I said, I'm going with somebody I've seen with my own 2 eyes.
You've seen up front.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've never seen him drop a pass. Kirby used to have to make him like run laps for catching one-handed passes. Like he was like, George, use 2 hands and he'll just go catch another one-hand pass. Yeah, that's how easy.
Because it's so easy to him.
God-given ability, man. I'm so happy he's in the position he's in. He's playing the way he's playing right now.
Top 5 running backs right now.
A lot of people playing at a high level right now. You got Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
Like I said, no order. JT, you got Cook, Achane from Miami playing at a high level.
Yeah, he's been balling. Yeah.
For sure. There's so many people playing at a high level right now.
Gibbs.
For sure, Gibbs. And I'm going to say Bijan. Yeah, good 5.
Bijan, dude.
Yeah, boys balling.
What about D Swift?
I don't never want to put myself in them conversations.
Yeah.
I leave that to other people.
Shit, I'll put you in there, dog.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Really kind of you to come on today. I'm incredibly happy for your success, man. It's well deserved, and I know you have arrows pointing way up, man. So I'm rooting for you in your corner, and definitely would hope to talk again down the line.
Appreciate that, man. It means a lot. Thank you.
I want to welcome in Miami Dolphins running back Devon Achane to the Schultz Report. Devon, thanks so much for coming on.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Devon, we had a conversation a few years ago right before the draft, and I'm curious, what would this version of yourself tell you before the draft just about what to anticipate?
Just basically like, it's gonna be lows and downs in, your career. Especially like me coming out, getting hurt my rookie year. But like don't dwell on it, just making sure, you keep grinding and trust the process.
During the injury or your rookie year, did you ever think like did you ever get down on yourself at all or no?
No, I wouldn't say I got down, man. Just the fact that like, just being in the training room, still being around the players and stuff like that, still in meetings. I was still, active. I just wasn't, playing and practicing, stuff like that, so I wouldn't say I was down, because I was still around my teammates.
How would you describe your fashion?
It's cool. I mean, it ain't like everybody else, what they be wearing all the, different type of stuff. But I just, like to wear what I wear.
You wouldn't say that your drip is like crazy?
I mean, it's cool.
How would you describe Mike McDaniel's drip?
Might be he be having drip on for sure, most definitely. He always got some new kicks on or something. He gonna let you know that they new and he gonna make sure that you see it. So
Can you hoop at all?
yeah.
You played in high school?
No, I didn't play in high school.
What was your game like?
I mean, I was more of a 3-and-D guy, like play defense and could shoot.
Who's the NBA comp for you?
Right now,
If you think about who in the NBA you feel like reminds you of you?
like we gonna put like Kawhi defense. Like I'm good at defense, but I'm great at shooting. You know what I'm saying?
I actually hold 3 Washington State records in shooting.
No, you got it.
When did you realize NFL defenders really can't catch you in the open? Like, how long did it take for you to realize that?
I wouldn't say like, I go into the game thinking like, okay, can nobody catch me? Because obviously, everybody fast.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, I'm fast too. And if I got like and enough yards in front of them, like, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Have you raced against Waddle or Hill?
Nah.
If you did, who do you think would win?
It really just depends on the distance we going for. All it depends on the distance, like how far we going and stuff like that.
If you ran 100 meters,
I'm winning that.
no question.
Yeah.
What's the funniest reaction you've heard from a defender after you outran them?
Probably like, damn, he fast, or like, you know what I'm saying, something like that.
Has anybody ever said like, man, I didn't know you were like that kind of fast, or
Yeah.
something crazy?
Or they probably like say me like, because I'm so little, like, you hard to tackle. Like, I didn't think you'd be that hard tackling. You know what I'm saying?
That was where I was going to get into. Is I remember in the pre-draft too that you had told me that you were not just a speed guy or a scat guy, that you could run between the tackles and that you played bigger. When did that mentality for you as a running back begin?
I mean, it's been like that, bro. I've been playing football like since I was like 4 years old. So it's like that's been a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like football, I knew football was a contact sport. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I've been doing for a long time. So I know like the guys get bigger, but I get bigger as well. So like, running in between tackles, I mean, that got to be a part of running back's game. You can't just run outside zone all the time.
What was your experience in Madrid? Did you like Spain?
I mean, it was cool. Yeah, I was ready to come back home. Just the fact that like we was out there for so long, but like, it was cool though. Like cool environment, experience. Just see something different.
Did you get to do anything at the stadium with Real Madrid or no?
I mean, we did like some of the stuff at the stadium. I think it had like the kids camp came out. Met some of the soccer players. Stuff like that. So
Who are the Devon Achane's 5 top running backs in the NFL right now?
I'd probably say like basically like just going off, the top 5, rushing league. That's how I go based off because obviously like them the most productive, guys. So that's how I go. But everybody great, you know what I'm saying? But if we going based off this season, I mean top 5 rushing guys, that's obviously they being the more productive.
But what about yards per carry, or you're like a multi-purpose back?
Yeah. I saw stuff like that, like B Gibbs, CMC, Bajon, like, you know what I'm saying? So us, like, we do a lot of that. Like you said, you see us catch the ball out the backfield a lot of times.
How about you think the five fastest guys in the league?
I'm not going to include myself. I'm not going to say that on my teammates. So I'll probably say, like, Worthy, Gibbs, J-Mo, Woolen fast, this cornerback, Seahawks, he fast.
Seattle, yeah, he's fast.
I didn't know the rookie cornerback from the Bills went for it too, so he got to be fast.
Oh, Matt Hairston.
Yeah.
He can go.
Yeah.
Pat Surtain told me that there's like a different, like with J-Mo, it's like there's something different. What does that mean? Like, I don't understand it because I'm not fast.
You know what I'm saying? Like, some guys can be like quick and just move, move quick, and then some guys just like naturally like fast, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a difference. Like you could be quick but like you only can be quick for not that long. So like you know what I'm saying, you'll be moving fast, like moving quick for like probably 10 yards and then like slow down. But when you fast, like you fast the whole time.
So like track speed and football speed?
Yeah, way different.
Well, so track speed is just like straight line speed.
Mm-hmm.
And football speed is like
in football, bro, you gotta make cuts. You gotta, football, when you make cuts, you slowing down. So you gotta be able to slow down and pick up your speed like right now.
oh shit.
That's why I said like
See, I'm
people who fast on the football field, like they actually like if you might look like they fast on the football field, but if you go put them on the track and they gotta run straight the whole time against other fast people, like it'd be like way different.
or someone comes that's super fast straight and then they're not able to hit that gear.
Yeah,
on the
like
football field.
some people that we might think that's not fast on the NFL, like somebody just out the blue that's we wouldn't think, and they come on the track and can actually be like fast. You know what I'm saying? Just because all like in games, like you really don't get to show like you running like full speed unless you just got you like one of them plays. So it's really like hard to tell for real.
So it's more like the sudden burst, short area quickness.
Yeah.
I asked a GM last week or 2 weeks ago about the Dolphins offense, and he said that game planning for you was a pain in the ass because of how versatile you were. When you hear that, does it make you happy, or are you just whatever? Are you used to that?
Yeah, like it's exciting, man. It's a big company. It just let you know like all the hard work that I put in, and like you said, like you got to be ready. Like you said, when you're a top guy in this on your team, like you have to know like okay, teams are game planning for you, just how we game plan for their top guys. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that we always like make sure if he on the field, we know where he at all times. So I mean, I feel like it goes both ways. So you have to know that. And I mean, like I said, it's something good to have, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, yeah, that dude's different. What's the best high school football state?
Texas.
Some people will say Florida, California,
Nah, bro.
Texas.
What's different?
But Florida has like all the speed, right?
But they say that, but like if we was to line up like Houston and Florida, track one, like they not winning, bro.
Who do you think are the top 5 dudes to come out of Texas, or who are your favorite 5 players to come out of Texas high school?
Yeah, I'm saying like Mahomes with the Texas Tech, CD was Texas. You know what I'm saying? You got me and Waddle. You got a lot of like Kenny Murray, like the linebacker. It's a lot of guys, bro. Like this came.
Drew Brees.
Yeah. Like it's a lot of guys, but they came. I can't just think on top of my head, but like, bro, Texas you know what I'm saying? Everything bigger in Texas, like football is just better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, Florida, like, Florida, they got their thing, but like, bro, it's Texas, we just different, bro. Like, if you compare like the teams, like when I go to Florida games and compare like Tim, like, bro, they be like they too small. Everybody just an athlete, you know what I'm saying? Everybody just athlete playing a certain position. You know what I'm saying? You come to Texas, like you got real O-line, real, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, was your high school one of those big ass stadiums?
I mean, I think it was cool. It wasn't like just huge, but it was big. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the like a full stadium on like both sides of the
When did you think you were going to go to the league?
Probably say when I got to college for real.
Like freshman year?
Well, probably like my sophomore year. Because my freshman year, I really didn't play for real.
I asked Chase Brown and the Bengals this. I said, "What was your welcome to the NFL moment?" And he said he got lit up by defensive tackle. Did you have one of those like big hit or big move, big thing you did? Welcome to the NFL moment.
I want to say like I just had like a like crazy like hit, but like it had been times that like we played the 49ers and the safety that came down. I think he number 6. I don't know, and like he came down and like I didn't see him and he didn't hit me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he may be falling like that, like a big little bit. Like I felt it though.
It stayed with you.
Yeah, so like I try to like avoid those at all costs, but like that was just one of them you couldn't avoid.
When a guy has a big hit, do you ever say like good hit, or you don't say shit?
Like it depends on who we playing. You know what I'm saying? Some guys, like you could talk to them. Like they back for conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then sometimes I'm not ready to talk to the guy unless you talk to me. Like if you start talking to me, okay, I'll talk back. You know what I'm saying?
Devon, what would you want like your legacy to be 20 years down the road as a football player?
No, this basically something you remember. Obviously, you want to break records, you want to win Super Bowl, stuff like that. Get all pros. But if you doing all that and I just want to be somebody like talked about, like how you ask me questions like, oh, who your favorite this, who your favorite that. Okay, down the line, I want somebody to be like, oh yeah, that's who I looked up to. I like watching him. Like that's one of my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Who are the 5 greatest running backs ever?
I mean, you gotta go like Barry, Emmett. I like LaDavid Thompson, so I'm throwing him in there. Like him and Adrian Peterson, them like they was just too close. So them 4, and then you can always like a 5th. Let me see. You can say Marshall Faulk or somebody. Like it was a lot of great running backs.
Why do you think the running back position guys aren't getting paid what they need to be paid?
Look, if I had all the answers, I give it to you. I mean, I don't know, bro. I feel like it get better and better every. It's getting better, but at the same time, bro, it's like I feel like it should have been like at a status where it's like we more value because as you see, a lot of the winning teams right now got great running backs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Saquon last year, Philly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have a running game to like win games. Like, it's something that can happen. Like you said with JT, he getting 30 carries, 20 yards. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like running the ball, bro, plays a big part in your offense. And I think, teams starting to realize that, it's gonna get better and better every year. But like I say, like even the Gibbs, like how he just won a game for his team, you know what I'm saying? Like 200 some yards, like overtime touchdown. Like, bro, we do a lot more than just play running back.
I know.
I mean, hopefully, as years keep going, they value us a lot more.
And now for our bets of the week, presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. We're going to go either or. Jets plus 12 at Jags or Titans plus 14 at the Niners. Wow. I'll go with the Titans getting 14 on the road. Cam Ward has quietly been playing quite well. They come off the win, their second win of the season against Cleveland. So 14, man, that's a massive line. I don't love either of these, but I will take Tennessee. Ravens minus 2.5 at Cincinnati. Packers minus 2.5 at the Broncos. So to me, the Vegas books are begging everyone to take Denver, getting 2.5 at home. But I'm going to go against the trend and what I think they want you to do. And I'm going to take Green Bay. Jordan Love, 7 touchdowns, no picks his last 2 games. Give me the Packers. And then finally, we got the Rams minus 5.5 versus Detroit, or the Cowboys minus 6 versus the Vikings. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think right now, this is probably the most complete team in football. Detroit's coming off a massive win against Dallas, but I just feel like Matthew Stafford is completely unstoppable. This is a really tough one because I don't love either. So I am going to take the Rams minus 5.5 versus Detroit. The game out of these 3, just for full transparency, that I like the most by far is Green Bay minus 2.5 at Denver. That is it for episode 15 of the Schultz Report. Thank you to Keyshawn Johnson, DeAndre Swift, and Devon Achane for joining us. And thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We'll see you this weekend.